Hello, and welcome back to RAZORUCKUS. Today we're here with a familiar face,
Pat Leslie.
All right, Pat Leslie, introduce yourself.
I am Pat Leslie.
All right, describe yourself in 5 words.
Pat Leslie. I'm Pat Leslie.
So, Pat Leslie, where have you been all this time?
I was put under quarantine for COVID, and then the Canadian health officials told me to take a COVID vacation, and then I had to take a second COVID vacation and get my booster vacation. So I'm finally back from my COVID vacations. I'm just doing my part.
That's a lot of vacations. One question we have for you is, how's your relationship status? Are you with anyone, or are you single?
Pat Leslie, who I am, cannot be defined by a relationship status. Pat Leslie is everywhere, all of the time. So there's a pretty good chance that there is a special lady out there somewhere, but there's always a special lady for Pat Leslie.
So you're single. Good, I guess. I don't know.
If you could give a word of advice, what would it be?
The best advice that I could give to anybody is to be yourself and not try to be Pat Leslie, because I'm Pat Leslie and I am no one else. And there's no one else that is me, because I am me.
I want to be like Pat Leslie when I grow up.
You never will be.
So, what are
You
your...
will just be an older version of you that doesn't move as fast and tells stupid stories that nobody cares about.
Thank you.
So, what are some of your strengths and weaknesses?
My greatest strength is probably right here. Speaks for itself.
A lot of muscles.
My greatest weakness would be that there's only one of me. I'm looking into it, but at the moment, there's nothing I can do about that.
Yeah.
So, you heard it from him yourself. He might be having kids.
Have you thought about cloning yourself?
If you will look back on previous episodes, I used to host a show here called Pat Chat. If you'll go back and view some earlier episodes of that, you'll realize that I have the Pat Chat Rat Pack, which consists of all of my children, who are all named Pat Leslie.
I thought you said there was only one Pat Leslie, though.
You know how you asked me what my greatest strengths and weaknesses were? You know what your greatest strength is? Being a terrible interviewer.
Do you have any type of music you like listening to? Any favorite artists, songs?
I usually try to listen to, the old standards, things like the B-52s, probably my favorite. Really big on Huey Lewis and the News. But usually I try to pin original songs, and I just follow my heart.
Do you like Ice Spice?
I was never a fan of the Spice Girls, no.
What about Brit Barbie?
Who?
Brit Barbie, like period, Brit Barbie.
What's wrong with you?
His parents asked that too. Do you have a favorite movie, favorite show?
My favorite television program would probably be Ask This Old House or the Antiques Roadshow. Pretty much anything on PBS. As far as my favorite movies, I mean, you can never go wrong with some of the classics. Things like, you know, Duck Soup, or if you're feeling a little edgy, maybe the Phantom of the Opera, or a new movie that I've seen that I really, really enjoyed watching. Flubber.
What's Flubber? What's Flubber about?
Flubber's about a flubber that comes to life and wreaks havoc, much like Gremlins, but instead of a gremlin, it's a flubber.
Sounds interesting. Sounds like a good movie. Are you doing anything right now? Do you have a job?
My greatest accomplishment, my all-time job, is simply being Pat Leslie. People who are known today as influencers that are famous for being famous, I've been doing that my whole life. My job is to be me. And it's a job that I am suited for, that no one else is suited for, that no one else will ever be suited for. As the great Canadian professional wrestler Bret the Hitman Hart once said, I'm the best there ever was, the best there ever is, and the best there ever will be.
Sounds like a hard job.
It's an honest day's work.
Would you ever date a fan?
I think that would be difficult to say no to because anyone who meets me is a fan.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm not a professional wrestler.
You're not a professional wrestler? Not anymore?
There's been a lot of speculation about me being in the world of sports entertainment, but I am a man of many talents, and from time to time, my talents are needed in the squared circle, but I would not consider myself a professional wrestler. I'm also not a public educator. I understand that there's someone here who shares a similar cadence to me, perhaps a similar build. There's no connection between us. I have zero respect for this person. I think that he, if anything, is just a poser who's trying to look like me, and I don't appreciate that. People say that imitation is the highest form of flattery. I disagree. I think it's the second highest form of flattery. Cash prizes are the highest form of flattery.
Do you know
Yeah.
his name? Is it Mr. Leslie or something
No,
like that?
I think it's Mr. Lyles, and to be honest, I never really liked that T-shirt that much.
He's alright. Kind of overrated.
He's definitely
Yeah.
overrated. I think I failed his class
Yeah.
a good bit of times. He's never really been my favorite, you know?
I think you probably share some similarities with him because you are definitely overrated as an interviewer.
Yeah. Okay. This was an interesting interview.
I'm not
Thank-
interested.
Thank you for joining us today. Did you have a fun time?
I always have a fun time because I'm here, and I am a fun time. I'm a fun time guy. When people want to have good times, they get in touch with Pat Leslie. Hopefully, my work visa doesn't run out. I can stick around for a little while and hopefully put a little bit of excitement into this news program, because if you are the best there is to offer, then the media is in a sad place.
Wise words.
You have a lot of criticism from him.
You know what else I have? The ability to say words correctly the first time.
So I think Jared has been called out enough. So I think we're going to wrap it up. Thank you for joining us today, Pat Leslie.
Anytime.
It was an honor interviewing you.
I had a great time.
The honor is all yours.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.